When you hear the word sacrifice, what comes to your mind? Maybe it feels heavy. Maybe it feels unfair. Maybe you think of all the things you've had to let go of while watching others enjoy what you wished you could have. The nights you stayed up grinding while your friends slept. The mornings you woke up early when the world was still silent, dragging yourself out of bed because your dream demanded more from you. The moments you skipped parties, fun, and comfort to keep working on something no one else could see but you. And sometimes, deep down, it felt like you were the only one who believed it was worth it. But here's the truth you need to hold on to. Sacrifice is not punishment. Sacrifice is the secret ingredient to greatness. Every single person you admire, every champion you look up to, every success story that gives you chills, behind it is a story of sacrifice. They didn't get lucky. They weren't born with all the answers. They didn't just stumble into greatness. They made a choice to give up what was easy so they could build what was legendary. And that's exactly what you're doing right now. You may not see it clearly, but every small sacrifice you're making is a brick in the foundation of the life you're building. That no to comfort, that yes to discipline, that decision to push forward when your body screamed to stop, it all matters. People around you might not understand. Some may laugh, some may doubt, some may say you're wasting your time. But one day, the same people who doubted you will look at your victory and realize your sacrifices weren't losses, they were investments. Think about it this way. When you plant a seed, it disappears into the dirt. It looks like nothing is happening. To the outside world, it's gone. But underground, life is forming. Roots are spreading. Growth is happening. And eventually, that seed breaks through the soil into something undeniable. That's your sacrifice. Right now, you're in the dark. Right now, you're unseen. But you're growing. And one day, the results will be impossible to ignore. Sacrifice is saying no to short-term pleasure so you can say yes to long-term fulfillment. It's choosing to run the extra mile when no one is watching. It's putting in hours of study when your brain tells you to relax. It's practicing your craft when the applause hasn't arrived yet. And here's the thing. The world is built in such a way that the majority will always choose the easy path. Most people will live for instant gratification. That's why most people never reach greatness. That's why the few who choose sacrifice are the ones who rise above. Yes, it's lonely sometimes. Yes, it's painful. But the pain of sacrifice is temporary. The joy of victory is forever. When you stand at the top of your mountain, no one will remember the parties you missed. No one will ask about the sleep you gave up. They'll only see your success, your strength, your glow. They'll ask you how you did it. And you'll smile, because you'll know the answer was hidden in every sacrifice you made when no one was watching. But here's where most people get stuck. They quit in the middle. They get tired of sacrificing when the results don't show up fast enough. They give in to the whispers of doubt that say, "It's not worth it. You're wasting your time. Just give up." That's why so many dreams die before they even bloom. Don't let that be you. Don't let impatience steal your victory. Remember this. Champions aren't built on comfort. They're built on sacrifice. You can't have both. You can't want to live like the majority and still expect to be celebrated like the rare few. There is always a price to pay. The question is, are you willing to pay it? Are you willing to keep sacrificing, even when it hurts, even when no one claps, even when the finish line feels far away? Because if you are, then I promise you, one day, the very things you're sacrificing now will look small compared to the greatness you gain. You're not losing anything. You're exchanging. You're exchanging late nights for bright mornings of success. You're exchanging skipped pleasures for lifelong peace. You're exchanging temporary comfort for permanent growth. And that exchange is always worth it. So, if you feel like you're giving too much right now, if you feel like life is asking more from you than you can handle, take a breath. Look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself why you started. Because one day, you will thank yourself for every sacrifice you made. One day, you'll stand tall and realize it wasn't just about what you gave up. It was about who you became in the process. Sacrifice now, celebrate forever. That's the law of greatness. And you, right now, are living it. Stay the course. Because your forever celebration is coming. Let's talk about the reality that nobody likes to admit. Sacrifice hurts. It doesn't feel good when you're in it. It feels like loss. It feels like you're constantly giving, while the world keeps taking. It feels like everyone else has it easier, like they get to enjoy life while you're stuck grinding. And sometimes, you wonder if you're crazy for doing this. Why not just settle? Why not just live comfortably like everyone else? But deep down, you already know the answer. You're not built to be average. You weren't born to blend in. That fire in your chest that won't let you rest, that's your proof. You're chasing something bigger. You're chasing freedom, growth, impact, legacy. And that comes with a cost. The question is, are you willing to endure it? Because here's the truth most people don't want to face. Success is not about talent alone. Success is about endurance. It's about who can sacrifice longer, who can delay gratification, who can keep showing up when the results still haven't arrived. Most people quit not because they lack potential, but because they lack patience. They want to see the fruit the same day they plant the seed. But life doesn't work that way. Sacrifice takes time to bear fruit. Think about athletes. The ones who win championships aren't always the most naturally gifted. They're the ones who train relentlessly, who eat differently, sleep differently, live differently. They sacrifice nights out, junk food, distractions, relationships, and comfort because they know the prize is bigger than the pain. When you watch them lift a trophy, you're seeing years of sacrifice condensed into one moment of glory. And that's how your life works too. People will only see your moment of celebration. They won't see the years you gave up, the loneliness you carried, the battles you fought in silence. But you will know. And that's why the celebration will mean more. Because it won't just be about the success. It will be about the journey, the sacrifices, and the version of yourself you built in the process. Right now, you may be in the stage where the sacrifices feel endless and the results feel invisible. That's the hardest part, the in-between. You're no longer who you were, but you're not yet who you're becoming. You're stuck in the grind, in the dark, where no one is cheering. But listen carefully. This is where winners are made. Not on the stage, not under the spotlight, but in the shadows where nobody claps. The person who can endure the silence, the waiting, the daily sacrifices without giving up. That's the person destined for greatness. Remember this, sacrifice is not forever. Pain is not permanent. You won't always be in this stage. Every small decision you're making, whether it's staying disciplined with your health, working on your goals when you're tired, investing time into your growth instead of wasting it. Every one of those choices is moving you closer to the life you dream of. You may not feel it, but progress is happening. Slowly, quietly, beneath the surface. Think of a mountain climber. Step by step, they sacrifice comfort, safety, and ease. The air gets thinner, the climb gets harder, and every part of their body screams at them to stop. But they keep going, not because it's easy, but because they know what's waiting at the peak. And when they finally stand on the summit, they don't regret a single sacrifice. In fact, those sacrifices make the victory sweeter. The pain becomes pride. The exhaustion becomes glory. That's what's ahead of you. One day, everything you're sacrificing right now will turn into strength, wisdom, and triumph. The hunger you feel today will make your success tomorrow taste richer. The nights you cry from exhaustion will make the celebration tears so much more meaningful. The loneliness will turn into inspiration for others who need your story. But here's the part that separates dreamers from doers: consistency and sacrifice. Anybody can sacrifice for a day. Anybody can push for a week. But champions, the ones who build legacies, they keep sacrificing day after day, long after the excitement has worn off. They sacrifice when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one believes. And that consistency is what builds the kind of life most people only wish they had. So, don't think of your sacrifices as losses. Think of them as deposits into your future. Every workout is a deposit. Every late night of hard work is a deposit. Every distraction you say no to is a deposit. And one day, the account of your life will overflow with abundance because of what you invested when it was hardest. The life you want, the freedom, the success, the impact, it is on the other side of your sacrifices. And the more you're willing to give up now, the greater your forever celebration will be. The world may not clap for you today. That's okay. One day they will. But more importantly, you will clap for yourself. And that applause will mean everything. Let me be real with you. Most people never make it to their forever celebration because they get stuck in the middle. They begin strong, full of energy and motivation. But when the sacrifices start to feel heavy, when the results take too long to show, they quit. They convince themselves that maybe the dream wasn't worth it, maybe the timing wasn't right, maybe they weren't meant for more. But here's the truth. They weren't willing to pay the full price. Success is expensive, and the currency is sacrifice. You can't cheat it, you can't bargain with it, you can't look for discounts. You either pay in full or you stay where you are. And the people who pay in full, their lives look different forever. Sacrifice is not just about giving something up, it's about choosing something greater. Think about that. You're not just saying no to comfort, to distraction, to laziness. You're saying yes to growth, yes to strength, yes to the future you dream about. Every sacrifice is an investment in the person you're becoming. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people. The first one avoids sacrifice. They choose the easy route. They go out every weekend. They spend money they don't have. They waste hours scrolling and binge watching. They feel good in the moment, but years later, they're stuck in the same place. Nothing has changed. They sacrificed nothing and gained nothing. The second person? They choose differently. They say no to the parties. They put in extra hours. They train their mind and body. They focus on their goals. They sacrifice the temporary pleasures for long-term rewards. And years later, they're living a life the first person can only dream about. They built discipline. They built freedom. They built impact. They sacrificed early, and now they're celebrating forever. The difference between the two? One traded their future for temporary comfort. The other traded temporary comfort for their future. That's the choice you face every single day. Sacrifice also reshapes your identity. When you're willing to endure struggle, when you're willing to put in work others won't, you start to see yourself differently. You no longer identify as the weak one, the overlooked one, the unlucky one. You begin to see yourself as resilient, capable, unstoppable. Sacrifice doesn't just build your future, it builds your character. And let me tell you, character is everything. Skills fade, money can be lost, opportunities come and go, but who you become in the process is what sustains you. Sacrifice builds the kind of character that makes you unshakable. When storms come, you don't crumble. You stand firm because you've already endured worse. When pressure rises, you don't fold. You've been training for this in silence. Your sacrifices make you bulletproof. Here's the irony. The very things you're sacrificing now, comfort, ease, pleasure, will return to you later, multiplied. You might be sacrificing sleep now to work on your dream, but one day, you'll sleep in your own house that you built with those sacrifices. You might be sacrificing weekends now, but one day, you'll own your time completely and spend your days however you choose. You might be sacrificing financial comfort now, but one day, you'll celebrate financial freedom beyond what you imagined. Sacrifice is temporary. Celebration is forever. That's the trade. And the people who understand that principle, those are the ones who end up inspiring the world. Think about the greats. Oprah sacrificed years of rejection, doubt, and struggle before becoming a global icon. Elon Musk sacrificed security, selling everything to chase his vision of building companies that others thought were impossible. Serena Williams sacrificed childhood, normalcy, to train harder than anyone else, and now she's a legend. Every name you admire has one thing in common: sacrifice. But here's the key: they didn't just sacrifice reluctantly. They embraced it. They understood that sacrifice wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It wasn't taking from them, it was shaping them. And when you see sacrifice in that light, you stop fighting it and start using it. This is where you are right now. You're in the preparation stage. You're in the season where it feels like everything is being taken from you. But what's really happening is this: you're being stretched, refined, and molded into someone who can carry the weight of success. Because make no mistake, success is heavy. If you're not strong enough to handle it, it will crush you. Sacrifice is what builds that strength. So, the next time you feel frustrated because you're sacrificing so much and seeing so little, remind yourself of this. Every step you take, every choice you make in discipline, every comfort you give up, it's not in vain. It's adding up. It's building momentum. It's preparing you for the life you've been dreaming about. Picture your future self for a moment. Imagine the version of you who didn't quit, who endured, who sacrificed day after day. That version of you is standing on the other side of this season, celebrating the victories, living in abundance, enjoying freedom. And when you finally get there, you won't regret a single sacrifice. You'll thank yourself for every one of them. Because while others will see the glory, you'll know the story. And that story will inspire more people than you could ever imagine. Think about it. When you're in the middle of sacrifice, it rarely feels worth it. You're tired, you're drained, you're wondering if the pain has a purpose. And this is where most people tap out. They convince themselves it's not working, that maybe they're wasting their time, that maybe the dream is too far away. But listen closely. This is the exact point where the transformation is happening. The breakthrough doesn't come before the sacrifice. It comes because of the sacrifice. This is why winners and quitters are separated at this stage. Quitting feels easier, but it comes with a lifelong cost. Sacrificing feels harder, but it leads to lifelong rewards. The question is, which pain do you want? The pain of discipline now or the pain of regret later? Regret is heavier than any sacrifice you'll ever make. Years from now, you won't look back and say, I wish I had gone to more parties. I wish I had wasted more time scrolling. I wish I had slept in instead of working on my dream. No, you'll look back and ask yourself, why didn't I go all in? Why didn't I push harder? Why didn't I believe in myself when I had the chance? That's the weight of regret, and it's unbearable. But sacrifice? Sacrifice hurts in the moment, but it builds a future where you can look back and say, I gave it everything. I held nothing back. And this life I'm living now is proof that it was worth it. That's the reward. Sacrifice is also the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, how much money you have, what connections you were born into. Sacrifice levels the playing field. If you're willing to put in more work, more discipline, more focus than the next person, you will rise. Maybe not instantly, but inevitably. Because the universe honors sacrifice. Life rewards those who are willing to give up comfort to pursue purpose. And here's what most people miss: sacrifice compounds. One disciplined choice today might not seem like much, but over weeks, months, years, it stacks up. It multiplies. Waking up early one day won't change your life. But waking up early every day for years, that changes everything. Writing one page won't make you an author, but writing a page every day will. Going to the gym once won't transform your body, but going consistently will. Sacrifice compounds into greatness. You might feel like no one notices right now, and maybe they don't. Maybe no one sees you grinding in silence. Maybe no one applauds your late nights and early mornings. Maybe no one respects the discipline it takes to say no to distractions. But remember this: greatness is built in private and revealed in public. The celebration will come later, but only because of the sacrifices you're making now. And let me be honest, celebration without sacrifice is empty. That's why people chase quick wins, easy money, shortcuts, and yet they still feel unfulfilled. Why? Because they didn't pay the price. They didn't earn it. But when you've sacrificed, when you've poured yourself into the grind, when you've given blood, sweat, and tears, victory feels different. It's deeper, it's sweeter, it's forever. Think about an Olympic athlete standing on the podium. The world cheers in that one moment. But behind that celebration are years of 5 a.m. practices, sore muscles, tears, doubts, sacrifices most of us can't even imagine. That's why the medal means something. Because the sacrifice gave it weight. Your future celebration is waiting for you. But it's not going to be handed to you. You have to pay for it with sacrifice. And the bigger the dream, the bigger the price. Don't let that scare you. Let it excite you. Because the size of your sacrifice is proof of the size of your destiny. You see, you're not just sacrificing for yourself. You're sacrificing for your family, for your children, for the generations after you. You're breaking cycles of limitation. You're rewriting stories. You're building a legacy. When people see you celebrating, they'll think it came out of nowhere, but you'll know it came from years of sacrifice. Sacrifice now, celebrate forever. That's not just a catchy phrase, it's a life principle. And if you truly embrace it, your life will never be the same. So here's my challenge to you. What are you willing to give up right now for the life you truly want? What distractions, comforts, or excuses are holding you back? Identify them, cut them, replace them with focus, discipline, and hunger. Because the sooner you embrace sacrifice, the sooner your forever celebration begins. And let me tell you this, the party is worth the pain. The joy is worth the journey. The forever is worth the now. This is it. The final push. The moment where everything we've been talking about comes together. Sacrifice isn't easy. It never was meant to be easy, but it was always meant to be worth it. And when you look back at your life, the question won't be whether it was hard. It will be whether you had the courage to keep going when it was. Every great victory you've ever admired came from someone who chose pain over comfort, discipline over distraction, sacrifice over excuses. They stood where you're standing right now, with a choice: stay the same or pay the price for something greater. And they chose greatness. Listen closely. Your celebration is already written. Your victory is already waiting. But you'll never touch it if you keep clinging to comfort. Comfort will rob you of your crown. Distractions will steal your destiny. Excuses will bury your future. But sacrifice? Sacrifice will set you free. One day, you'll walk into the life you dreamed of. And when people ask, "How did you get here?" you'll smile, because you'll know. You'll know about the nights you cried, but kept moving. You'll know about the mornings you wanted to quit, but didn't. You'll know about the sacrifices no one saw, the battles no one clapped for, the silent grind that built your victory. And in that moment, when the applause finally comes, when the doors finally open, when the life you built finally surrounds you, you'll realize something powerful. The sacrifice was the celebration. The hard road was the gift. The struggle was shaping you into someone unstoppable. So don't wait for someday. Don't keep putting off the sacrifices you know you need to make. Your forever celebration is tied to what you do today. The clock is ticking. The world isn't waiting. Your legacy isn't going to build itself. You have to decide, right now, to give everything you have, no matter how much it costs. Because one day, when the lights shine, when your name is remembered, when your legacy echoes through time, you won't regret the sleep you lost, the parties you skipped, the comfort you left behind. You'll stand tall, proud, unshakable, and you'll whisper to yourself, "It was all worth it." Every sacrifice, every step, every moment. Sacrifice now, celebrate forever. That's the code. That's the path. That's the promise. Now it's your move. Don't wait. Don't stall. Don't hesitate. The life you want, the future you deserve, the legacy you're building. It all starts with what you're willing to sacrifice today. Go. Give it everything. The celebration is waiting for you.